animals, and other things like coral being destroyed, you probably think of something like pollution or overfishing. But there's another very important problem in today's society that needs to be addressed. It's destroying animals and coral, all sorts of organisms. That problem is ocean acidification. Basically, how this works is people release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and the ocean absorbs approximately 25% of that carbon dioxide. This alters the ocean's chemistry, and that makes the ocean more acidic. If you really care about these animals, like people say they do when they're talking about pollution, then you would want to take care of this problem too. So as I previously mentioned, the acidification alters the ocean's chemistry. And some chemicals in the ocean are needed for certain marine organisms to create their shells. When the ions they need aren't present, their shells are very weak and they die off quite easily. This is a problem because they're part of oceanic food chains, which when destroyed will cause more problems. If we fix ocean acidification, then these ions will be present again, the ocean will be more basic, and their shells will survive easily. But what really is the problem if the food chain isn't working perfectly? There's less animals around altogether, because if you have your producers, which are being eaten by these small organisms which aren't able to survive anymore, which are the primary consumers, then you work your way up from the primary to the secondary to the tertiary to the apex consumers. And we have less of them altogether. Now some of these higher ranked ones, such as like tuna, fish, for like shark fin soup, when there's less of them, that depletes the industry that uses these animals. So the tuna industry will suffer if we don't fix ocean acidification. And in the future, if we can fix this problem, there'll be a solid food chain thanks to the shells working well on these organisms. And with that food chain, there'll be more tourism because people enjoy watching some animals that are impacted by ocean acidification. The industries will also do better because there'll just be more fish in general that they can fish for and sell as food. Also, coral reefs are very important to the ocean. They contain lots of life, but they're dying thanks to ocean acidification because it's breaking down coral reefs themselves. We need to solve this problem once again by fixing ocean acidification. We need to make these coral reefs healthy so they can support more life. But you may be wondering how you can stop ocean acidification. You stop that by emitting less fossil fuel, burning less fossil fuels, and emitting less carbon dioxide. You can do this by signing petitions or writing letters to people in charge of the government. Now, that was a lot of information to understand, so what you may want to do is create a brochure like I did as my product. I felt like this was a good way to just hand out the information. So at the end of this, if I had the brochures with me, I could hand them out, and then you wouldn't have to think back about what I said. You could just read it in the pamphlet. Thank you for listening, and I hope you help stop ocean acidification.
Thank you.